let's do a tier list. So most tier lists, obviously, are best character for whatever element, right? Like best characters for cryo, hydro, whatever. I thought it'd be interesting to do just the best character for their weapon. So let's try it. Now, this doesn't really affect anything. It's just another way to categorize because there's no actual reason why you would filter your characters or build your team around a specific weapon unless you were exploring and you wanted to crack open rocks easier. Then you definitely wouldn't be using any sword characters, in which case they'd all be D. But for this, I don't know, it'd be cool. So let's start with MC. All right, so now there's Anemo, Geo, Electro, Dendro, and Hydro at this moment on December 7th, 2024. So we'll rate them based off of their best element, which is, I'm pretty sure, undoubtedly Dendro. I know you can do some pretty cool stuff with Shatter now, with Geo MC, because Shatter was buffed. But if we're doing Dendro, we're going to put them, honestly, I think A. A pretty good Dendro support. They do not great damage, but it's more for the application, right? A decent amount of Dendro application. And if you infuse the ultimate with Hydro or Electro, then it's going to either last longer or activate more frequently. So it's pretty good and it lasts a decent amount of time. But like I said, the damage isn't great. It's just a good amount of application. I think the only thing preventing an S is if it was more damage and if infusing it with Pyro didn't fucking explode and ruin everything. Ruin absolutely everything. It was never used once. I don't think it'll ever be used. It should be abolished. It should be a burning comp, really. I think it should apply some sustain for burning, because then it could be used with Emily and Kniech and everyone else that loves burning now, which is apparently a new meta. Okay, Kaeya. C, not very good. Cryo application, not very good. And not very frequent, just because of ICD stuff. Yeah, see, let's see what his... How the fuck you spell that? What is his burst cost? 60 and 8 seconds. But constellations, does it increase it? Base duration is increased. Okay, when Glacial Waltz is in effect for each opponent defeated, its base duration increases by up to a maximum of 15 seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. So, could be 23 seconds. 23 seconds is a pretty long time. That's assuming you have C2, and I don't think anyone's ever gotten a Kaeya, so I'm not even sure this actually exists. Unless you buy them from the store, which no one's buying. Let's be real, no one's buying characters from the store. It's all wishes, because we're all addicted to gambling. So we're gonna stay C. She doesn't feel that good. Okay, Xingqiu is S. You knew that though. Not sure there's anything to say. He's fantastic, works with normal attacks. So anyone who's normal attacking is going to be good. Most DPS is normal attack. I'm not sure if it triggers with plunge or charged attack, but even if you're charged attacking, it starts with a normal attack. Well, if you're using a sword or a spear. Yeah. Layla is a good shielder, but two problems. No one really likes shielders except for Zhongli, and no one likes cryo except for me. But I think for what she does, shield's pretty strong. Applies just about as much cryo as Kaeya, I think. Ish, maybe less. We're gonna stay C. Alright, Bennett. Whoops. Okay, Kuki. Alright, here's the thing with Kuki. Kuki's good at one thing, right? She's good at proccing Hyperbloom. That's it. So if we're scoring her based on that, she's S. But if we're scoring her based on overall character, not very good. She's not good. She's only good for Hyperbloom. That's it. That's the only place you're using her. She heals, yeah, but it's slow, so you can't really use her for Furina unless you build her for healing, in which case you're applying Electro. Yeah, you're just applying a little bit of Electro charged when she's used with Furina, so I don't know, man. Maybe A? No, let's be controversial. My organs say B. We're gonna leave it at B. Alright, Kirara. Alright, Kirara is okay. I haven't played too much of her. she was pretty underwhelming from the beginning for me. So I'm gonna say C. She's fun for like climbing up walls and shit, but overall, just there's so many better Dendro characters, and her shield's okay, but like I said, no one really uses shielders besides Jean-Mi. I guess mobile players use shielders, but that's really it. Yeah, like I'd much rather use Kaeya or Dendro MC for a Dendro slot there. That's really it. All right, Lynette C6, I heard was baller, but other than that, she could do VV and taunt. She could taunt enemies. She's not bad. Just the damage is a little weak. The problem is there's just no space for her. She's kind of like a sub DPS, off-field DPS. But if you're using her to swirl some stuff, maybe on full EM she's cool as a sub DPS, because then she could cause a ton of reactions while your main DPS is doing their thing. I don't really know. Yeah, we're gonna say C. Okay, Jean. Jean has some perks. Healer, team-wide healer, and I mean, great with Furina. That's her main role right now, right? DV and then healer for Furina. And if that is the only role, no, I guess she can do. I mean, her burst does decent damage, right? What does her burst do? At 10, if you crown her burst, scaling burst damage at 10, 764. That's pretty high. That is pretty high. It does cost 80, but like whatever, put her on 5. I think she could be an A, just because I think people would rather healers than shielders. So I think I rank healers a little higher than shielders anyway. And there's no support that utilizes shields well, right? Like Furina needs healers, but no one needs shielders, right? So they inherently work worse than healers. So we're gonna keep A. Okay, Nilou is good for blooms, and that is it. So, I mean, she's really fucking good at it though. But I think if we're gonna follow the same rules as we did to Kuki, we're going to keep her in B. Because that's it. That's all she does. I mean, a little bit of Hydro. Hydro's good, but yeah, not good enough. Not good enough to branch out into other things. Right? She's not really gonna be like the DPS on field doing crazy shite. Yep, B. Okay, Keqing. Keqing is fun, and it kind of stops there. She's just been outclassed by a certain somebody. Yeah, I mean, I think aggravates her best team right now, because she gets a little bit of infusion after her skill, but it's not very long. And if you use her as a burst bot, she's fun because her energy cost is so low. I think it's like 40. Yeah, 40. So you build her with just a smidge of ER, and every 12 seconds you can bust out some crazy lightning ninja shit. That's cool. But damage to me, kind of underwhelming, I'll be honest. I built her, I farmed Thundering Fury for fucking God knows how long. 4 months to get pieces for Sino. And once I did, I just threw them on Keqing just to see what would happen, and she underperformed. So, I'll say C. I don't think she's D. And no one's been D so far. Well, short-lived. Alright. Qiqi. Not good. I tried to make her good. I tried to use her with Furina, like a DPS for Furina, because she team heals, but her numbers just aren't good. People use physical Qiqi apparently. It's just not very impressive. I'm sure it can clear something if you hyper invest, but even so, then you have to build Mika. It's like 7 built Mikas in the 70 million players. So there you go. All right, Albedo has been outclassed. Albedo. Yep, he's been outclassed by another certain someone. There has been 2 strong cases of power creep in this immediate tier list, which is funny, because not only have they replaced the exact same element, but the exact same weapon, which is interesting. But Albedo, I'm gonna say D. It's not very good. Yeah, just not good. He gives some EM to the team though, but I don't think it's significant enough to warrant really ever using him aside from anyone else. Right? Like in any instance where a little bit of that EM would be beneficial, I'd rather use Bennett. Kazuha, welcome to your family of 3 small boys. I don't have to say anymore. Okay, Ayato. No one uses Ayato. It just doesn't happen. No one's using him. No one's using him for anything. But I am curious to see how he's doing with the new Electro Charged buff. So Taser could be cool. Definitely not D. Is he C though? Yeah, I'm gonna say C. There's a little bit of general versatility just by virtue of being Hydro, but that's about it. His animations are cool. Maybe that makes him B. Nah. Alhaitham, incredible Dendro driver. Very cool. Just overall powerful as shit. You don't even really have to build him well. And you could put him on a 3-star sword, a Harbinger of Dawn, right? And unless you've scrapped all of them, you have one. You have one. And you probably have R5. So you could throw that bitch on there. Put him on Gilded or Deepwood if there's no other Dendro or Deepwood on the team. He's doing it, man. All right, Chiori. Power creep numero uno. All right, the devs saw Albedo and said we got to do something about him. Should we buff him? No, we should create a seamstress to completely overshadow him and make everyone forget he exists. So we made Chiori, and she's pretty good. She's powerful, low burst cost. That's the bulk of her damage, at least in one shot. Play her on any other geos, and she's pretty good if they have a construct. Yeah. She's a good character. I think A. Yeah, I think she's gonna go in A. Which is a pretty stark contrast to Albedo, right? It's weird how even if Albedo was B and Chiori was A, it now makes Albedo D. Because in any situation where you're gonna use Albedo, you would rather use Chiori. So basically D is, should we delete the character? D's for delete. Okay. Furina, S, obviously. Sick character, sick storyline. Powerful as shit. Any team healer is going to make the team insane, except someone. And she's cool as shit. She changes outfits. That's cool as hell. Even if she was A, now she changes outfits. Okay, she's S now. All right, huge damage buff to the team. And that's a real team player. That's what we need, is team players. Okay, Clorox, the second power creeper to Keqing. She's good and fun to play and easy for mobile. You just kind of hold normal attack and she blasts everything. Actually pretty cool, but not S. Yeah, she's good. Her damage numbers are good. Honestly, I feel like she's as good as Alhaitham, but for Electro. I mean, you need good artifacts on her. She's not as easy to build, but you could still use Harbinger. I guess the difference with Alhaitham is the variety of teams, right? You can do Aggravate or you can do Hyper Bloom, Quick Bloom. And here you can't really use her as a Hyper Bloom driver because then you're building her on full EM and taking away a ton of damage from everything else she's doing. So I think that's why. Less versatility. She's gonna stay A. Last but not least, Silly Xilonen. Aside from the kick-ass name, I mean, she's obviously good. I feel as though in any case where you would use Kazuha, you could use Xilonen and vice versa. So if you have one, you don't really need the other. But for those of you who got both, like I did, whether it was just to compare or because her opening scene was her yawning in a tree wearing like 4 inches of fabric for clothing, maybe you don't use her very much. I've gotten so used to Kazuha that I don't feel like I have to use Xilonen. It's just another build. It's another complete build that I have to go out of my way for, right? Because VV's been out for so long and the damage bonus is built into his kit, and it's the opposite for Xilonen, where the damage bonus is in the artifact that you have to farm, and the resistance shred is in her kit itself. So I think if you have Kazuha, she's still S, right? It doesn't matter if you have them or not. It's not like one is objectively better than the other. They're kind of just the same character. And Kazuha is grouping. So maybe, honestly, in situations where you have even just 2 enemies, Kazuha might outperform. So yeah, I guess within the S, she is below Kazuha. But S nonetheless, pretty fucking solid. I just don't use her. I don't know. Doesn't feel that great to play. I think the DJ shit throws me off. She does too much. It's just kind of weird. She's like, she's the best blacksmith in the world. Crazy. Also, she's a DJ on the weekends. Yeah, Yeah, no, she's super impressive. Also, like, if you want to challenge her to a rollerblading contest, good fucking luck, because she's also a pro at that. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. And, yeah, she could transform into an ocelot, which, just add it to the list, you know? Add it to the list of crazy shit that one human being could do. Yeah, I think they really focus on adding a boss bitch on this one, and they nailed it. All right, let's readjust these within the tier list to see where we going. So I think within S, we're gonna readjust Furina to be the first, Kazuha to be the second, Bennett third. I guess, I don't know, I feel like Bennett, I don't know, just better. But is that fair to separate them like that? Who knows? Let's do Alhaitham and then Xingqiu. Okay. Now we have, I think Jean is going to be top of A, then Pine Sol, and Chiori and main character. Then we'll have, Kuki and Nilou. All right, C's are going to be tough. I think top of C, Layla, Keqing, Kaeya, Kirara, Lynette, Ayato. This feels right. And then this is kind of tough. Strictly for the hair, we'll keep him top of D. Big flex. Okay, here's the tier list. Let me know what you think. Tell me where I completely fucked it, and tell me where I nailed it. It'd be cool to argue online with strangers about it. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Maybe we'll do Polearms next. Cool. All right. Peace, y'all.